How to get big triceps? Best training method revealed. If you're seeking to build big, impressive-looking arms, then there's no doubt that you have to prioritize the triceps. This is especially true since they actually make up most of the size of your arms, meaning that big triceps should be your priority if you want big arms. And in order to best grow the triceps, you need to pay close attention to what tricep exercises you're performing. But to discover the best way to train your triceps, it's vital that you first understand their anatomy. By the way, this applies to all muscle groups you're training and are hoping to grow. That's why I've designed every BGO program to help you really understand the anatomy of each and every muscle group you're trying to target. And best of all, it's all rooted in science. For more information on how BGO programs can help you to look better, fast, the triceps is the antagonist to the biceps. It is the muscle that moves the elbow in the opposite direction to that of the biceps. It extends the elbow, primarily. This means it increases the angle of the elbow joint, moving the elbow from the bent position to the straight arm position. It is a single muscle with one single insertion, but with three heads. Each of these heads has a separate origin. The three heads are known as the lateral or outer head, long head, and medial or inner head. When each of the heads are properly developed, they form a distinctive upside-down horseshoe on the back of the arm. And it's important to know that although all three heads will be activated in all triceps movements, you can maximize the activation and put more emphasis on specific heads by choosing the right exercises, as you'll see in this article. The lateral head and the medial head originate on the back of the humerus. However, the long head originates on the scapula, just below the shoulder socket. Because the long head is attached to the shoulder blade, it can participate, to a very small degree, in the upper arm pulling downward. The other two heads, the medius and the lateral, only participate in elbow extension. Well-developed triceps flow naturally into the redelts, yet many guys struggle to develop this muscle. Exercise 1. Closed grip bench / weighted dips. Heavy exercise to stimulate type EO fibers. From the outset, as shown in this study by Hughes et al., we can see that, similar to the biceps, the triceps are composed of around 67% type I muscle fibers. These are best stimulated by using heavy weight, and in fact, this study by Newton et al. Showed that each jump in relative load going from 30% 100% of 1 rep max resulted in more tricep activation. This is very similar to what was found with the biceps. Since the closed grip bench press enables us to easily overload it and lift very heavy weights, I suggest starting with this exercise. Use heavy weight for fairly low reps, but in a controlled manner, in order to recruit all the motor units of your triceps. As for hand spacing, this study by Lehman et al. Examined triceps activation using 3 different grips: wide, shoulder width, and narrow. The researchers found that the narrower the grip, the higher the triceps activation, particularly in the long head. But given that there tends to be a lot of wrist and shoulder discomfort when using the narrowest grip, I'd suggest sacrificing a little bit of triceps activation and sticking to a grip that's a little closer than shoulder width. Another option as your first exercise, however, is weighted dips, which allow you to lift heavy to stimulate type I muscle fibers and is just an overall great triceps developer. So the preference is yours. If your shoulders hurt when performing weighted dips, then do closed grip bench press. And if your wrists hurt when doing closed grip bench press, then do weighted dips. Exercise 2. Overhead cable extensions. This next exercise is going to put more emphasis on the long head of your triceps. Keep in mind, though, that all 3 heads will be activated to an extent during any tricep exercise. But the reason it emphasizes the long head of the triceps more is because it's the only head that crosses the shoulder joint. A muscle produces maximal force when placed in a position of slight stretch. That's why the long head can be better isolated by performing exercises that involve shoulder flexion. This exercise, where the arms are overhead, is a perfect example of this. When performing this exercise, you want to ensure that your forearms are moving and not your upper arm. This will allow better isolation of the triceps. But keep in mind that this isn't the only overhead triceps exercise that will emphasize the long head. Other alternatives are exercises like lying dumbbell extensions, single arm standing dumbbell extensions, and so on. However, I find that these are a little too strenuous on the elbow, which is why I prefer the cable version. But I suggest trying out these variations and pick one that minimizes stress on your joints, especially when you use heavier weight. Exercise 3. Cable pushdowns, straight bar. The reasoning for this next exercise is based on this study by Barron and Buskis, which compared EMG activation of the different heads of the triceps with 10 different tricep exercises. They found that for the lateral head, the cable pushdown with either a straight bar or V-bar elicited the highest activation, which is why I'm recommending this exercise to hit the lateral head of the triceps. In terms of whether to use an underhand or overhand grip, unlike the biceps, none of the tricep heads play any role in pronating or supinating the arm. That means that you're not going to boost tricep activation by using an underhand grip as opposed to an overhand one. An underhand grip may also compromise your wrist position. You are also more likely to lift heavier weight with an overhand grip. That's why I suggest sticking to the traditional overhand grip. Exercise 4. Triangle push-ups or bench dips. A quick glance at the enormous horseshoe triceps of gymnasts proves that you don't necessarily have to train with just weights in order to build impressive triceps. Utilizing bodyweight exercises can be effective as well. This is part of the reason why I'm suggesting performing either bench dips or triangle push-ups as a finisher exercise for the triceps. In addition, the study I previously showed by Barron and Buskis showed that the medial head was best activated with triangle push-ups and bench dips. Since our previous exercises don't emphasize the medial head as much as these exercises do, you definitely want to pick one of them to do as your last exercise. I would personally choose the triangle push-ups over the bench dips, however. It has been shown to have superior overall triceps activation, as shown in this study by the American Council of Exercise. It also seems to be less stressful on the shoulder joint for most people. So again, try them both out and see which one you prefer. And for this exercise, I recommend training to failure for all the sets you perform. Now that we've discovered the best science-based exercises for developing thick, horseshoe-shaped triceps, it's time to put them together in the form of a muscle-pumping workout to stimulate maximum growth in minimum time. Thanks for watching.